I know the start of this is going to sound like an infomercial. I can't help it. Have you ever, see, infomercial. Have you ever been watching a woodworking video, seen them do something in it, and say to yourself, how did they do that? And they don't explain it. And you get frustrated and can't really find out how to do it. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever tried to build one of those shop projects that you've watched a video for? You get into it, you get partway done, and you can't get the darn thing to work. Things don't line up, they don't work the way they're supposed to. That ever happened to you? One time I was watching this actually really good shop video on how to make a crosscut sled, a table saw sled. They got to a point where they said, now we need to make the runners to fit in the miter slot. And they said, so cut a runner the right width for your miter slot. And then they went on. I could not for the life of me cut a runner the right width. I searched for videos, and eventually I did find some videos that explained how to do it. But I felt like everybody knew something that I didn't know. Now that I know how to do it, I'd like to produce a video showing other people how to do it. I know there are other videos out there that show how to do this, but I might have a unique perspective being the fact that I'm a newbie. And I suppose I should introduce myself. My name's Dan Thomas, aka Newbie Dan. And this is my channel, the Newbie Woodworker. When I was watching that, I'm laughing because I've made about 20 takes of this. I can't seem to say these words. While I was watching that video to make the crosscut sled, I thought to myself, there's a lot of things that I don't know that everybody seems to take for granted that you know. I wish there was a channel that would explain those things. Welcome to the channel. I don't claim to know those things. I hope to find them out. Especially with questions from you guys in the comments, we'll be able to work through a lot of the things that we don't know how to do. Even if I can't figure out how to do them right, I can find videos that show how to do them right. I'll also go through some of the shop projects that I've tried to make that other people have produced videos about. And hopefully I can show you some of the things that I learned in going through them, the things that they don't tell you, the potential issues with doing it one way versus another way. I've actually built quite a few jigs and shop projects. In fact, that's pretty much all I spend my time doing right now. So I want to share some of that information also. Another thing I want to share is that I was a software engineer. I'm not doing it for a living anymore, but the engineer part's always been built into me. I've always had a unique perspective on how to do things. Lots of times they're wrong perspectives, but sometimes they're so outside of the box and hopefully simple that people never really even thought about them before. I'll give you an example, and I'm going to produce a full video on this later. I have one of those dust collection vortexes that sits on top of one of those 5-gallon plastic buckets. And I had a problem with the bucket collapsing if the dust collection tube got blocked in any way. And I watched these videos on how to construct something out of wood to shore up the sides, or thought about buying a bucket with a thicker wall, but even that still had problems. My solution was a little different. I used a standard Homer bucket from Home Depot, 5-gallon orange bucket, and I just stuck it inside another bucket. Solved the problem completely. That's the kind of perspective I can bring to things. Ways that you haven't really thought of doing things. Maybe not necessarily good ways. One thing that you won't find a lot of in my videos is me cutting wood. You don't want to watch me cut wood. But what I will do is I'll explain how I did things, the areas that I had problems, and how to overcome them. You're not going to find professional quality videos here. The editing will be okay. I'm a decent video editor, although I'm only as good as the source material, so... And since I'm shooting the source material, we know what that means. You won't find professional lighting here. I'm not going to shave beforehand. I'm probably not even going to clean up. You'll find dirt all over me. You get what you get with me. Hopefully we'll have a little fun. I don't ever take myself too seriously. I especially want your help in the comments. I want you to ask questions. I want you to supply answers. I want you to give links to other things. I want you to tell me what I'm doing wrong. Am I really going to say that? Well, I don't want any trolls, but if I'm obviously doing something wrong that can hurt myself, for instance, you can see here, I probably do need some safety tips. So if you see things that I'm doing blatantly wrong, please feel free to comment. I'm not going to be producing a lot of videos showing me actually building things. I may show some techniques that I learned here and there, a little tip or something like that. I've got some things on the drill press that I learned that are kind of cool that I'll show. Also, if I do have any projects, I'm going to show you the completed project at the beginning of the video. I hate videos that make you wait to the end. So that's what you can find on my channel. I hope that you like what you get here. If you like this, if this sounds like a good idea, please subscribe. Click like, all those things that everybody asks you to do over and over again. So that's it. I've rambled long enough. Enjoy the channel. Don't enjoy the channel. See you later.